VBD. Very bad video. Welcome to the third in my three-part series on doodles. Their inspiration for this doodle technique was a business meeting and a caramel latte. You see, I had a very important meeting that I had been preparing for weeks, and then before the meeting I had about an hour to spare, and I thought, I'll go treat myself to a caramel latte, which I then proceeded to spill down the front of my blouse. Anyway, realizing that I probably didn't have enough time to wash and dry and there was no guarantee I'd get the coffee stain out, I ran across the street to this very expensive woman's boutique and to get a scarf. Fortunately, the scarf was on sale. Unfortunately, the scarf was like $300 anyway. Now, I might spend $300 on a pair of shoes, but never on a scarf. However, let's face it, I was desperate. So I went ahead and got the scarf, and the meeting went really well. And so then later, I thought, I doodle on, envelopes and packages that usually end up getting thrown away or something. And I'm going, maybe I could doodle on scarves, and then they would last a lot longer. So that's basically the inspiration. So I started painting scarves, then I moved on to buying silk by the bolt for making dresses, or in this case, for this video, I'm going to make a kimono. Now please understand, this is a very bad video. It's not really meant to be an instructional video. If you want some good instructions, go to the same place I went to, which will be in the link will be in the description below, and it's to Dharma Trading. And they have some great supplies and even better instructions. For silk painting, I will use three basic techniques. They probably have some fancy names, but I don't know what they are. So I'm just going to call them watercolor, resist, and salt. The thing to remember about painting ink onto silk is it just bleeds everywhere, which is great if that's the technique you want to use. And for the kimono, I am using just the watercolor technique where, well, not just, but I'm using the watercolor technique where it bleeds. Now you can also use what's called a resist method. And what it is, it's a water-soluble resist. It comes in either black or clear, and you basically paint that around the designs that you're going to want to do. Now this is a resist scarf I did years ago, and you can see how it might flow and bleed and blend within the little shapes, but the resist stops it from bleeding all the way out. The other method that I did use for this kimono is called the salt technique, and basically salt either pulls the dye in or it pushes it out, I don't recall. But if you look up towards the top, or in this video I'm focusing more on it, those very organic shapes, that's caused by the salt. Now once you get your kimono or your fabric painted, you'll roll it between pieces of paper. I buy like the big huge things that you can get for moving at U-Haul. Anyway, then you wrap it up, stick it into wrap it into tin foil, and then I'm using a lobster pot. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't use the lobster pot. Get the canning if you want to do this. You just fold those legs down for that wire basket. My problem was that I used the lobster pot and I couldn't see how much water I was putting in. I put in too much water, it boiled over, and it caused it to bleed, and you can see those white spots. That's where it bled through. Now I've been sewing since I was about 11. In high school I started altering patterns, and now I pretty much make my own patterns. Not to say that this is much of a pattern because it's a kimono, talk about very easy. But this is the kimono. I made it because I'm leaving for Italy in about 4 hours for vacation. I wanted to be able to take this with me. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this very bad video. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.